Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to watch more episodes, you can find us on YouTube, Acres TV, or you can listen to us on Apple or Spotify.
Welcome to the show, ATI ProMedia, powered by Advanced Trading. We are live, and guess who has two thumbs and forgot to hit the go live button? Let's give it a minute or two to let folks join. As always, thank you for joining the show. We live stream every day at 9 a.m., and then we release premium content in the afternoon. If you're not a premium subscriber, we'd love to see you over there. It's $1 a day. Of course, you can call us 1-855-737-FARM or email us at info@ATI ProMedia. All right. Connor B, we'll do the headlines together. And we got to get a few more people on here before we ask that question. Looks like we're live streaming on Acres TV. Mr. Rick says we're go there. All right. Trying some new stuff. Well, you can catch us on Acres TV. Let's talk about that real quick. Jojo, if you could pop up how people at home can get on Acres TV, that'd be great. If you have any streaming device, a Fire Stick, of course, an iPhone, anything else, anywhere you can download an app, you can get Acres TV. What is Acres TV? It's the go-to place for farming and agriculture and everything else. I see Joe struggling looking. We got so many pop-ups up and things, and he can't see it. Maybe I took it down, Joe. I don't know. No big deal. We'll work on that. But come join us on Acres TV for the replay or the live screen. And, of course, if you're going to be up in South Dakota, we will be at Ag PhD field days here towards the end of July. Connor B, bring them in. Let's go through the headlines, sir, one by one. We'll take a little trip down LaSalle Street.
Let's do it.
And then we'll go to Wall Street. And you know what? I know people think we're messing with them or we're not doing our homework or we didn't prepare for the show last night. If we prepared for the show last night, we would be telling yesterday's news today. And today's news today, the markets are moving. There's a lot of things going on in the markets. Real quick, let's go to LaSalle Street, and I'll quote it up, and then we'll go to Wall Street. In LaSalle Street, July corn unchanged, soybeans. July soybeans down 3, Nova soybeans down 4, seeing some pressure in wheat. Board of Trade wheat down 11, KC wheat down 6, hard red spring down 8.5, live cattle up 50, feeders up 100, hogs down 35. Jojo, let's take it to Wall Street. Gold down 20, silver down $1. 2-year, 10-year, 5-year, 30-year bond markets rallying. When I say bond markets are rallying, yields are going down. Crude oil, hello, ring the bell. Crude oil down $1.50. That's $3 yesterday, $1.50 today. For you home gamers, that's $4.50 if you're counting on your toes. Natural gas lower, Dow Jones up 50, NASDAQ up, S&P lower. Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things, up 1,000. Dr. Copper down 11. Oof, we got some risk off in the outside markets with some things happening there. Headlines, Connor B, what do you have, my friend? You built today's show. Why don't you talk about the work you did?
Sounds good. I want to say, Tommy, how did we make it 2 weeks without Rick? I don't know how we did the show without him.
Well,
Thank you, Rick. He's our producer.
Rick, for those of you at home, Rick was holding up a sign that looked like this, and it said, go live. Hit the go live button. I'm like, why are you holding up signs like I'm 3? Because I swear I hit it, but that's okay. A lot of things happening. Headlines a little quiet.
Yeah. The big one, Tommy, is going to be the crop conditions and planting progress. Crop conditions, we knew they were going to be good. They came out better than expected, 5-6% above that. So I got a few charts and we can talk about that. The other one is, you mentioned it, crude oil has been on a big sell-off, right? Demand's a little, 450 in 24 hours. That chart's not looking. We're getting close to 2024 lows. I just peeked at that chart. So big drop in crude oil. We'll see that. As you said, metals are having a bad day. But that's what I saw in headlines. The big thing for my focus is going to be looking at the planting progress. Brazil, that safrinha corn crop, guess what? They started harvesting it, right? The early stuff is coming out. I think it's like 5-6%. I got that chart there. But that's what I had for headlines, Tommy. The big one for me is going to be those crop conditions and looking at that. And what does it mean, right? First crop conditions, what correlation does it have on final yield? So we can jump into that, or if you want to touch on, we still have Roaring Kitty and GameStop. It is still in the headlines. Other one, we saw a few stocks completely being halted, right? Trading was halted. Berkshire Hathaway, I think, was the main one that I saw, right? Technical issues. What was the stat? Did it go?
It traded almost free.
Yeah, 99.97% discount. So trading was halted there. Kind of a big story, but apparently they fixed those technical issues.
All right. We have, on an option standpoint here, we are June 4th, and we're going to have July options expire here in 20 days, maybe even a little less. It's interesting what's happening to the markets here. We knew this could happen. We knew there's old crop. We knew the stars could align that, hey, the funds are really short. They may cover. They did cover. Wheat took the next leg and the next leg and the next leg. But beans, we've noticed, we've been posting zero sales to China recently. And we've had some demand from Mexico and Spain and corn. But old crop corn going to leak out at some terrible prices when you factor in the cost of money used to store that depreciating asset. So all the stars could align. Will we continue to go down? We'll see. Our clients who like to hedge and be protected are sold out of 23, hedged and protected and crop insurance in 24, and some of them got really aggressive in 25. Other people have other views, like that guy who called in who's not a client who said we're idiots and the market's going a lot higher. Hey, mister, if you have my cell phone called, I'll let you on the show. You can explain to us why you're right. I would love to hear your story. Speaking of right, maybe he is. July corn up 1/4 cent. So it's the greatest comeback of all. But hope's not going to work, right? So when you go into your banker and say you can't pay back all your operating, we say the word, oh, let's hope we rally. Well, good luck. That's I'm sure they say that in other situations too. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. It's a lack of discipline. And we need to work on that and help farmers. Probably be sarcastic and we get some hate mail. But I'm not, one of the things kind of about being in media, we're not running for political office, but you're going to find out that some people really like you. And I know that your business has improved tremendously from doing this show and Brady's and other people, but you're going to find that people don't like you. But when people are clicking and paying for premium, they like us. I mean, for $1 a day, they like the content we're putting out. They like the access to be able to call us. And, I can't be Jimmy Carter here and try to make everyone happy and then, fail at both, right? And you're too young. You don't know who Jimmy Carter is. But anyway, hey, who was that guy Ryan mentioned yesterday? Ryan Fogel. Ryan Fogel's like, not the actor, the other guy. And I didn't know
the guy, Zach Morris.
Yeah, he goes, Zach Morris, not the actor, the trader.
Not the actor, like,
yeah. I didn't know what he was talking about. So that's okay. All right. Pretty quiet news day. Call to action, folks. If you're out there and you want to call us, Connor has a question for you. And that question is,
let's pull up the chart, Joe, because we got to see the visual on this, on these good to excellent ratings. So our call to action is going to be if you are a Pennsylvania farmer, as you can see these corn conditions by state, Pennsylvania, 100% good to excellent, which is incredible in itself. But then compared to 2023, they were 30% good to excellent. So if you are a Pennsylvania farmer, we want to hear from you. Tommy will send you a flag if you give us an update. I want to hear your perspective.
Pennsylvania farmers watching us live. Hey, if you're on the state next to Pennsylvania, that might be close enough. So, I don't know what the deal is here. It caught some headlines. I noticed other people talking about it. It was funny on the Twitter sphere last night, the X sphere. Pennsylvania, congratulations, 100% good, excellent.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to. I'm smart enough to know that can't be right. Like that. How could it all be great? We can't find one field, one place in Pennsylvania. Anyway, it's the government, right? This is the same people who buy the $1,000 hammers are putting together this list. Folks, if you're out there and you're living and dying by every U.S. corn conditions, remember last year, Connor, how the state of Illinois was 12% worse, 14% worse, 12% better. Remember how much that was rocking the opens?
Yeah, because look at it right now. Last year, we were at 50%. This year, Illinois is at 72% good to excellent. Here's the takeaway. Crop conditions, I think I got that on the next slide. We're going to pay attention to it. The trade pays attention to it. And what is it telling us? It's telling us that the crop is in the ground. It's off to a good start, but we've got a long way to go. So when we look at crop conditions, the correlation to final yield last year was a great testament to that. Crop conditions, what were we last year? Last year, we were 64%, and we trended lower over this next month last year. And then we had a record U.S. crop 178. So when we look at crop conditions, we can see 2012, right? We were off to a great start in 2012, and then it didn't rain again. So we're going to pay attention to crop conditions, but correlation to final yield, not so much. We still got a long way to go growing this crop, but it is off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I noticed I don't know if you have any more slides, but I noticed a nice little tidbit on the internet. A guy who I've been following on X for a long time. He had something interesting about young farmers. I found that fascinating. Want to go to Conab first?
No.
Okay.
Let's pop it up.
All right.
Keep
Close.
talking.
I hear you getting on your internet.
Here it
We
is.
used up all the internet for Connor. He opened his email. Interesting chart on young farmers, and yeah, where are the young farmers? And we know at ATI ProMedia here on the live stream and the premium that a lot of our watchers, especially the of the live stream, are young farmers. Pop that back up. There you go. So this is interesting. Greater than 10%, 8 to 10%, 7 to 8, less than 7. Young farmers. Where are the young farmers? Percentage of farmers, producers, or any operation under the age of 35, 2022 census agriculture, 9% of the farm producers under the age of 35. That means there's a lot of older, aging people in farming, extremely wealthy through land ownership and good operators, good management, but interesting chart. So if you're out there, if you're listening to the Vocal podcast on Apple or Spotify, we can get that to you if you didn't catch that. So what do you think of that, Connor? We lost Connor. All righty here.
You know what jumps
there he
up
is. He's back.
out
And
of
wait,
me is
there's
home
more.
state of Illinois, second biggest corn producing. Am I lagging?
You're there now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Tommy?
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. He must be.
Okay, yeah. What jumped out at me was Illinois, right? Second biggest corn producing state, 8%, right?
Yeah.
Take it over, Tommy. I'm gonna kill some stuff and quit.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Connor's shutting stuff down. As you know, he's 1 month away from getting fiber internet there in Assumption, Illinois. It's at the street. Good news. Kicking it back real quick, bro. Kick it over to South Street. We've had a market move here. Market's digested that bearish information. July corn up 2. Soybeans unched here in the July. Wheat down 7 in the board, 2 in KC, 4 in hard red spring. I could do a little bear bull debate here in the grains with Connor if he can come back on. And Connor, if you can hear us, bull bear debate, we've went to a lot higher prices and then we've come down to a lot lower prices. I can really see a scenario later in August, September, October, November, December, where corn continues to rally because we just didn't get enough acres in and maybe we had a production problem. But on June 4th, 2024, we cannot kill the crop. The crop, what's in's in, what's not's not. Do you have thoughts on that, Connor B?
Yeah, if we want to be a bull in this market, I think it's got to be on the backs of maybe we see some production issues, and then also our exports going to pick up, right? Are we going to see China come to the table? 2020, Joe will remind me that was a COVID year. Quit using it as a comparison, but I go back to that August, September, and then into the next year, 2021, where China really came in and purchased some soybeans. So if I'm going to be a bull, I want to see some of that follow through in terms of exports. I think that's what we got to see if we're going to be bullish this market, Tommy.
Yeah, and the election could be very interesting too when we talk about China and demand. All right, questions, comments. If you want to talk about how the Pennsylvania ratings came out 100% fine. Brady Huck popped something up. I think he's being funny from a farm field somewhere, and we love him. He thinks next week that the ratings could get even better. That would be interesting. Hey, folks, we've seen crude oil trade negative, so sure, yeah, rate. Things can get better. Talk Conab on a serious note. I understand you have some good chart here.
We had a couple. Say Dr. Cruz sent us these. We know that first corn crop is all but harvested. The soybean harvest is all but done except for the flooding, right? That part of southern Brazil where we saw the historic rains. They're like 95% harvested. But what I popped up here is that safrinha corn crop, they've begun harvesting it, Tommy, where Mato Grosso region is about 5%, right? So it's that early stuff. They're just getting going. But that safrinha corn crop is their number one exportable corn crop. So if we're wanting to be bullish looking at corn exports, Brazil really getting off to a good start harvesting. That's not necessarily bullish U.S. exports, Tommy. But so we'll keep watching that and looking at what those safrinha corn crop yields are going to be.
That's very good good analysis there. There are production problems around the world, but there's also enough crop to get by. So when someone's bullish, they focus on I had a client call me, they said, Iowa's a hot mess. I said, sure. And I'm sure you see some fields that are flooded, but in the end, at harvest, is 95% of that field going to have really good record yield and 5% be 100% drowned out and it was just low? Or is it enough water? And that's why I can see where people build a bull story and they say, oh, if we get hot and dry, we're going to have these pancake roots and stuff. But this is silly season, folks. This is where weathermen make a fool of themselves. It's pump and dump season for we're getting hot and dry and this and that. Subscribe to our service. I watch it happen all the time. This is a time when brokers try to say, I told you so, we could go back down. And, farmers get aggravated. If you're out there and you're one of those people who's got a lot of crop to plant, you're not going to like to hear anything that doesn't benefit you getting in the field here in the next 24, 48 hours. There's definitely some stuff. All right, this is a buddy of mine, Greg Vincent. Thank you, Greg. Greg Vincent was the gentleman who got me involved with Farm Journal Media and actually asked them to have me on the show. So big shout out to Greg Vincent. If it wasn't for him, I would have never got on Farm Journal Media. So he believed in me before I believed in me. All right, Greg Vincent. Crop conditions mean nothing right now. Wet weather will cover a lot of the sins from planter issues. If it dries out, look for those numbers to drop. I think that's kind of on the same rhyme of what I was saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Greg. Crop conditions, they don't have a whole correlation. It's to the final yield number. It's going to be, what is this June, July weather going to be? What crop conditions are telling us is that we're off to a good start. And also, we're going to pay attention to them because they are going to influence, short-term little market trends, right? So, but I 100% agree.
Yeah, they'll move the market for the nickel, but the next dollar is not going to be based on those. It's a much bigger deal. Hey, real quick, I don't know if we have any other questions or comments. I just do want to pop up a chart. Brady Huck, next week, Pennsylvania improves to 102. Good, excellent. It's possible, Brady. We've seen negative $37, $38 crude. So anything's possible here in this world here on June 4th, 2024.
We have Pennsylvania. Congrats to the Pennsylvania farmer. 300 bushel corn. Here we go.
Here we go.
Write it down.
If you're out in Pennsylvania, the whole state gets a free flag and a free year subscription to whatever. All right. On a serious note, let's look at Dr. Copper. Joe, bring that chart in for me. Dr. Copper taken out to the woodshed. Copper was just a few weeks ago, if you're old enough to remember, it was copper at multi-year highs. Copper, gold, silver, this, that. You know what? Things go up and things go down. And this one's coming down to more of a manageable level here. So when you talk about how expensive it is to build a home, there's so many parts in a home have copper. You look at copper in the economy and everything else. We're starting to see some things changing here in the commodity sector. When you see gold, silver, copper, and crude oil coming into Memorial Weekend, I paid $4 for gas. And I noticed yesterday in Indiana and after today, I think we could have gas with a 2 in front of it here in some states here. If you have $2.99 gas, text us, email us, whatever. I think it's coming in the next 24, 48 hours. They buy that fuel. It goes, they call it the rack. It comes off the rack. It takes a few days. When we see crude oil go down, it takes 2 to 3 days to see it hit the pumps. We're going to have $2.99 gas coming into June and July if crude oil stays at this level. Also, look for the United States government to buy back some of that strategic oil reserve. From a campaign standpoint, if I was running for president, I would want the price of commodities and inflation to come down. The bond market's had a significant change. This is good for the American farmer. It's good for anyone who's trying to borrow a lot of money. You're seeing some of those markets really adjust. And as the bond market's going off, you're seeing gold, silver, and other markets come off. Dr. Copper, very much a risk-off event. Great, Connor, to see grains walk through this bearish news. That's a good price action when you can get a lot of bearish news thrown at you. If I was really, really, really short, if you don't buy into that bearish news, then the next thing is buying into that bullish news. So when the market looks the most bullish, you want to be selling. Those are the scariest times, hence the video Brady and I did. Why didn't you tell me to do more? And then when the market looks horrible, like it did 20 minutes ago, someone scooped that up in a big way, seeing high volume trade on corn on the lows today. Real quick, tell us about yesterday's. Did I call you Brady?
I don't. If you did, I didn't hear it, Tommy. So
Don't take it as an
didn't happen.
insult. Yeah, I meant to.
That I take that as a compliment.
Oh, yeah,
Brady, let's give Brady credit. If you're watching,
Yeah.
Brady, we were talking before the show, and he said, I think good to like the ratings are going to be 69, 70%. He said, I could see it be 75%. So you called that one, Brady, right on the nose.
Oh, when you spoke about it yesterday, that was actually Brady.
Yeah.
Pumping you with good stuff. Hey, yesterday's premium, folks, bearish news for corn, premium content. Tommy Grisafi broke down. That is me. We broke down the crop progress, which was, in line, but the ratings threw them for a little loop there. So that's that. If you're interested in ATI ProMedia Premium, subscribing 1-855-737-FARM, emails at info@ATI ProMedia. Real quick pump. We're doing that meeting. Is it a week from today? No, a
week
from
from Thursday. Yep.
A week from Thursday? Okay, we have a crop report next week. We'll be streaming that live. You and I, Brady, whoever, we'll get some folks on here. We had a real good turnout that last time we streamed. I think we had 600-700 people watching. Do we have that pop-up card for your show? Yeah, pop that up, Joe. Here you go. Want to read that off, Connor B?
Yeah, I'm doing a live taping next Thursday, June 13th. If you're in the Bloomington area, if you want to make the drive, shoot us an email, give us a call. We'll make sure we've definitely got some room still, but so I think it'll be good. Live taping, then we're going to do a little fundamental review, get some of our research team to speak. And then I think, Tommy, maybe a couple others do just a roundtable discussion, talk marketing, talk what we're seeing, and really flesh it out, do some breakfast and lunch. So I think it's going to be a great time.
Great job. Let's do it. Folks, if you need help with that, just give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM, get you hotel information. It's a free event. And we just want to get people together. We also want to get practicing live streaming on the road. We're going to be live streaming at Ag PhD days. We're going to be at Farm Progress all 3 days. We're going to go back out to Commodity Classic. We are taking this show on the road. With that, a little action GameStop. Ryan's not going to call in. But we did talk GameStop before. We don't want to pound that. On a serious note, please manage the risk on grains. If you get that chance in another rally here, this is interesting what's happening. I really think there's some disappointed farmers out there in several ways, especially if here's who's having a bad day. If you're holding old crop and you have very little sold for new crop and nothing sold or protected for 24, 25, and you can't get the crop in, you're out now just mad at the world. And for those folks, you can call us too. We didn't make it rain. So like Billy Joel said, we didn't start the fire. So with that, I won't be quoting anyone else. Gina G wants to say anything. We always ask you to like and subscribe to the Advanced Trading YouTube page. And with that, I will find the button and end this show. Connor B, great job, buddy. I will see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.